710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
Another partial government shutdown looms at midnight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This only affects the Department of Homeland Security because funding runs out for much of DHS. Democrats, including Senator Chris Murphy, blocked new money, demanding immigration enforcement reform.
If the agency starts behaving lawfully, if they start obeying the Constitution, then we can get back on the same page. This is an exceptional moment in this country's history.
And though ICE operations are already funded,
the consequences of a shutdown hit federal employees at a range of agencies. Republicans say you could see an impact at the airport or in disaster recovery zones. Tens of thousands of employees at FEMA and TSA may need to work without pay for the third time since October.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. They have found a glove inside Nancy Guthrie's home, and on day 13 of the search for her, the FBI says the masked man in gloves seen on video around the time of the 84-year-old's kidnapping is 5'9" or 10.
Reward for the information leading to an arrest has been increased to $100,000. The suspect is also believed to be carrying a backpack called an Ozark Trail Hiker backpack. The FBI believes that is what he was carrying that night.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tucson, Arizona. We will be less safe, less healthy, and less able to fight climate change. That's what former President Obama posted on X, reacting to President Trump, rescinding what's called the endangerment finding that he calls a hoax and a scam from the Obama era in 2009 that underpins a lot of climate regulations to limit greenhouse gases.
This was a ripoff of the country by Obama and Biden.
Democratic governors and environmental groups plan legal challenges to the EPA deregulation. There's a new crew headed to the International Space Station.
Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Dragon.
That SpaceX launch early this morning comes weeks after the last crew was brought home early from the station when one astronaut had a medical condition needing treatment. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
President Trump will hit the road today.
This week, White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt announced the president and first lady are headed to Fort Bragg in North Carolina
to meet with military families and the heroic members of our special forces who carried out the successful Operation Absolute Resolve in Venezuela and helped bring narco-terrorist Nicolas Maduro to justice.
He's expected to arrive in Fayetteville this afternoon. Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, are being held in the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York. They've pled not guilty to federal drug trafficking charges and are next due in court March 17th. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
We'll get an inflation update this hour, gauging consumer prices last month, expected to show an increase in the annual rate, which was 2.5% in December. And that report could affect the stock market. For now, futures are falling the day after a big sell-off dragged the Dow down 669 points. Well, this is a bad day for triskaidekaphobiacs. Friday the 13th.
Before you don hockey masks and grab your machetes, maybe you'd like to know why there's such a taboo surrounding a month's 13th day falling on a Friday. While there's no single or well-accepted explanation, there are some origin stories, and none of them involve a bunch of teenage camp counselors neglecting a kid who drowns in a lake. Much of the ick associated with Fridays the 13th is associated in Christian lore and history, like when in 1307, Francis King Philippe IV arrested the Knights Templar on Friday, October 13th, whereas Norse tradition suggests the trickster god Loki arrived as an uninvited 13th guest at a dinner party and fooled Hor, the Viking god of darkness, into killing Balder, their god of joy. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A Norwegian cross-country skier just had an all-time Winter Olympics record with his 8th gold medal. Johannes Husflo Kleibo could set the record in upcoming events. The U.S. so far 14 medals in these Olympics. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's all-American truck headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Just like that, another week has gone by. It's another finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Show producer Fred Cruz. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we have AccuWeather meteorologist Dan Pitinowski. Pitinowski should be joining us in about 3 minutes. Look at the warmer weekend forecast. We're going to be in the low 90s for this weekend. Highs today should be in the upper 80s. Hey, look at that. It's Friday. We got movie mom Nell Minow coming up in about a half hour, so stick around for that conversation. A suspect has been denied bond after his arrest on capital murder charges. 43-year-old Alejandro Lopez from Rio Grande City, arraigned yesterday. Hidalgo County investigators say that Lopez helped move at least one body into a vehicle that was later found burned in Peñitas. It's a developing case that has 4 other suspects. All have been denied bond. Senator Ted Cruz and other lawmakers from Texas, especially West Texas, say that there are more questions than answers after the total airspace closure in El Paso earlier this week when they shut down the airport temporarily. The Pentagon reportedly tested an anti-drone laser weapon without telling the Federal Aviation Administration. On Wednesday, the FAA said that there was a drone incursion from a Mexican drug cartel. Senator Cruz saying that the details of the story are still unclear, and he has joined West Texas lawmakers to have a sit-down, at least a classified briefing, with the Pentagon and others involved. There's another lawmaker saying he wants to know why federal agencies still cannot talk to one another. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. In Central Texas, up in San Antonio, efforts to stop an immigration customs enforcement detention center in San Antonio seem to be falling apart.
Some on San Antonio City Council have been trying to find ways to fight back against plans to convert a warehouse to house those who are arrested by federal agents. They asked the city attorney, Andy Segovia, if the city-owned power and water companies could deny service. They were told no, it's required under law.
Their ability to operate may be called into question.
The council members also asked if tax dollars could be used to defend people held at the detention center. That, too, was shot down as attorneys point to the state's anti-sanctuary city laws.
That's Michael Board with that report. It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. Freddie, you ready for Valentine's? Ready to go? Yeah. You're such a romantic. You good to go, right, buddy?
Yeah, I haven't asked my wife for the $200 yet.
Okay. Well, it won't take very long. $200 ATM. Hand them over. There you go. Happy.
I don't know the PIN code though.
Valentine. She is smart not to give you the PIN code to the ATM. So love is in the air, as they say, but it's looking different this year.
A recent Open Table survey finds 61% of singles would say yes to a first date on Valentine's Day. It also finds 51% of diners are open to double dates, and girl groups are turning out for Valentine's Day in bigger numbers than ever. According to the survey, large party reservations jumped 34% last year. Open Table says about 81% of people plan to try a new restaurant this year, as opposed to what they're used to.
That's Emily Capetillo with that report. And this note from the University of Texas at Austin, they announced a major restructuring of courses that have to do with gender and race and ethnic study.
The big reconstruction coming in the College of Liberal Arts. 7 departments consolidated into 2. This includes departments of African, Mexican, and American Studies, as well as the Department of Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies. Faculty group Save UT calls the changes political, saying it will affect the academic independence and future of specialized studies, and will also cause confusion for the 800 students pursuing degrees in these departments. University President Jim Davis announced the change in a letter, saying an internal review found significant inconsistencies and fragmentation across the departments. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And a bit of good news if you're tuning in to 710 KURV. You've been up and running for a while now. Chances are you probably got up around the 6 o'clock hour or 5 o'clock hour, and you're out there somewhere. So there's new research showing that early birds like you and I and Freddie and I are usually up around 3 o'clock in the morning. New research showing that early birds have healthier hearts than those who stay up late. You know what it is, Freddie? It's the worms that we're eating. Yeah, early birds get the worm, right?
The findings in the Journal of the American Heart Association show night owls had a 16% higher risk of having heart attacks or strokes compared with the intermediate group. Early birds had no increased risk. Researchers studied 323,000 adults in the UK. The American Heart Association recommends adults get an average of 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep a night to maintain optimal heart health. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Time is 7:10 on News Talk 710 KURV. I'll just read it, Freddie. I mean, it hasn't changed very much. It's accurate with the time. I want to say I do need to acknowledge, though, the good folks that provide us AccuWeather this hour. A big thank you to Martin Farm and Ranch, all the gang out there, in particular Dougie. Martin Farm and Ranch, they've got what you need. And you stop by, you say thank you, and give Dougie a big hug from us. It's AccuWeather with the time, and we got Dano, right? Dan Nowski. Happy Friday, Dan. So we've been changing the meteorologist for a while, and we changed again because we bring you aboard, and we suddenly see an increase in temperatures for the weekend. Moving in the wrong direction, dude. Highs tomorrow like 92, 93, close to 90 today. And the question of the day for me every day has been, okay, I'm kind of hoping the long-range computer Outlook 7, 10, 14 maybe provided you a hope of change.
Hoping for that cold front, huh? It doesn't look like it any time soon, Sergio, unfortunately. It looks like a pretty warm pattern ahead over the next week. Maybe as we get late next weekend, like around Friday the 20th, Saturday the 21st. Sign of a cold front trying to press southward through Texas and maybe get some colder air into the valley then. But I think at least for the next 7 days or so, looks like a pretty warm pattern for us.
But is the Texas travel forecast okay? Then usually North Texas gets the tail end of something, or Central Texas, San Antonio is. Travel forecast going to stay dry and mild for all of Texas over the next, let's say, weekend and early next week?
No, we do have a front passing off to the north late tonight into tomorrow, so there can be some rain and even some stronger thunderstorms around the Metroplex late tonight into tomorrow, eventually getting its way to Houston late tomorrow night, and even down as far south as San Antonio. There could be a few showers and storms later Saturday night. Everybody across Texas dries out on Sunday and turns less humid as well.
All right, pal. So the AccuWeather forecast, upper 80s, closer to 90 today. Definitely 90s tomorrow, like low 90s, 92, 93, probably Mid-Valley, Western Valley. And then upper 80s again, like 90 Sunday and upper 80s on Monday. That is your AccuWeather forecast. Let's see. As far as national days, today we celebrate cheddar cheese. Put some on some tortellini pasta. It already has stuff inside. So put more cheese. Tortellini pasta. No one eats alone day. So go find somebody to have lunch today. And we also celebrate Galentine's Day. Not Valentine's. Not Ballantines, as one of our producers says around here. Your gal pals. So you got all you gal pals, all you girls go eat Galentine's Day thing today. Thank you, Dan. I'll call you next hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Dan Nowski on 710 KURV. The time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. School choice, the voucher program, very popular in Texas. More people signing up.
The private school voucher plan passed by state lawmakers continues to exceed expectations. Comptroller Kelly Hancock says so far, more than 90,000 families have registered.
We're on pace to be the third largest program in the very first year.
He says when the window closes next week, he expects that number to get above 100,000 applications. It's not first come, first served. Families are picked at random. Those selected get about $10,000 to help pay for private school tuition.
The time is 7:14. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Up next, the conversation I had with our mayor in McAllen, Javier Villalobos, after the State of the City speech. Down the street of the convention center, he ran over here to the studio, and we did a quick recap, some of the highlights and the interesting points from that. $5 billion, retailers in McAllen selling about $5 billion of stuff last year. That translated to just shy of $100 million in sales tax. That's a lot of money for the piggy bank in McAllen. That and other highlights next on 710 KURV.
Active Liver from New Nordic protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Wegmans, and now GNC.
Hey RGV, do you love radio, events, and meeting people? Radio United is looking for brand activation ambassadors for our stations. This is a part-time position, perfect for those who want to have fun while working. If you're bilingual, 21 or older, and have a valid driver's license and legal authorization to work in the U.S., we want you on our team. We offer great benefits and opportunities for growth. Send your resume to Human Resources at radiounited.com. Radio United is an equal opportunity employer.
My name is Sergio Sanchez. I'm a Republican. I'm running for House District 41. I'm happy to announce I just received the highest possible rating from the NRA Political Victory Fund, a grade of AQ. I'm the only candidate on either side to even receive a grade at all, much less the highest rating. Please go to my site, sergiofortexas.com, for more on my platform, including that I speak boldly on my pro-life stance. You can read about my concrete plans to lower our property taxes. Please remember to vote in the Republican primary, paid for by the Sergio Sanchez campaign.
The 710 KURV People Poll, made possible by Total Imaging Solutions. Their customers have 99.3% of problems fixed within 4 hours.
This is Michael Berry, host of The Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
710 KURV. Looking forward to the 16th annual Radiothon to benefit our Kids Cancer Clinic, Benny Cook. It happens next Tuesday. Hope you can join us and put some money in the medicine and medical care piggy bank for our huercos, our kids here in South Texas. We're fighting cancer. Thank you, Jesus. Successfully at Benny Cook all the time. So I want to say thank you to Amigo Power Equipment. Thanks to all the gang at Lee's Pharmacy for being a part of this huge team that's converting all the airtime, got all the logistics set up for this Radiothon next Tuesday, right here on 710 KURV, and our sister stations at the Benny Cook Children's Cancer Clinic of South Texas Radiothon. This past Wednesday, our mayor in McAllen, Javier Villalobos, brought everybody together. 1,000 plates, they said, at the convention center. 1,000 plates, my goodness. That place was full, it was hopping. It was a State of the City address, and as I lovingly refer to him, our chairman mayor, my friend Javier Villalobos, is in the studio, and I appreciate him stopping by after that conversation in McAllen. Do a recap of some of the top points, major points. I want to start with education, Mayor. Over the past year, we saw that amazing UT Health Cancer Research Treatment Facility. Man, talk about a feather in the cap. Texas A&M expanding their campus in the northern part near Tres Lagos as well. More nursing as well. Highlights on education. Let's start there, Mayor. Some of the things we brought.
No, certainly, definitely. And one of the beautiful things, and something that we're very proud of, is we're always thinking about human capital and how do we do it? It's going to be through education. So we've been able to partner up with UTRGV, A&M, South Texas College to do the different things we need to do. I know, for example, South Texas College is more technical stuff, the certificates and things that are needed to immediately put them into the job force, into the workforce. A&M, more also getting into nursing right now. They just broke ground in their new facility, and they're going to be generating probably at least about 100 nurses a year. And that is something that is very necessary down here in South Texas and everywhere else. And of course, UTRGV is always doing well, and very proud of what they've been doing, their research facilities. Now, of course, their medical schools, and now even a football team. Like I stated there, our first ever, and then with a inaugural season of 9-3, that was just amazing.
Yeah, that's good stuff, and better things to come as well. Javier Villalobos, our mayor in McAllen, we're looking at some of the major factoids, some of the talking points he brought to the State of the City speech in McAllen last Wednesday. I wrote down the $578 million budget for the city of McAllen. But always, it seems that every time that we have a chance to review one of these speeches, it is the reserve, the capital, the days of reserve that we have, the emergency fund. That sucker seems to be growing all the time.
Well, it's not necessarily an emergency fund. It's something that's required and necessary because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of the times we know we've been blessed that our economy has been good. We've been, our city, our commission, our past commissions have been good stewards of our money. So we've been doing well. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that should something occur, should revenues, should the economy go down, you're ready, you're prepared to make sure that you can keep on providing the same type of services that we're accustomed to. Because the worst thing you can do is, the economy goes down, people are not paying their taxes, sales taxes go down, and then you can't provide the services. And that's something we just are not prepared to do.
Is the reserve something on city charter, or is it required by state law?
Generally, it's required to have a certain number of days, and we exceed that by quite a few days. And
Did you say 238 days? Algo así?
I think we have 238 days reserved, which is about probably 60-something days more than is required.
Yeah, way north of that. Javier Villalobos, or City of McAllen Mayor, State of the City. Also, you expressed 120 different capital improvement projects that paid for, I guess, a mix of what's at City Hall and the bank, and maybe something funded by the state.
Sure,
right?
definitely different type of things we do. But I mean, we keep on doing different projects, infrastructure improvements, irrigation, drainage improvements, of course, traffic lights, everything. And of course, one of the things we're working on now, of course, is our new city hall. We're looking at the reservoir development. We're looking at some major development in the future north of the convention center. We're looking at some new parks and recreation facilities. I'm looking, really what I want to do is find another area to relocate our softball fields, make some real nice softball fields for the people that want to utilize the parks, which we have by the convention center. But I'm talking about real nice softball fields, and then we can utilize that park to keep on growing, commercially.
McAllen being a destination point for sports tourism. And your Parks and Recreation chief was explaining to us the different national, regional, state tournaments on all sorts of different huerquillo sports, all from T-ball, all these different sports that are coming to the area. Of course, mom and dad come along, and sometimes grandma. That's a solid tourism.
It is amazing. As a matter of fact, we got people last year for the softball teams from the Philippines, the Netherlands, Mexico, from Oklahoma, North Texas, from all over the place. I used to be one of those parents that took my kid to play in Los Angeles and Florida, North Texas, Round Rock. And you know what you do when you get there? You spend a lot of money. Hotels, food, and snacks and things, and it keeps on going. So it's kind of weird because if you travel, you're going to be spending money here. You're going to be spending money at Buc-ee's close to Houston. You're going to be spending money another place, and then at the ultimate destination, and then on the way back. So it's not just where you are and where you're going, but throughout.
Funny that you said Buc-ee's. They told me before the speech. Yeah, Javier's got this big announcement to make. Today. I'm going, oh, please, Jesus, let it be a Buc-ee's. Let it be a Buc-ee's. Oh, Lord, please let it be. So not yet. We'll get there someday. Javier Villalobos, our mayor in McAllen, joining us in the studio post-speech for the State of the City address. If you had an open checkbook, someone said, Mayor, you write it down. That way you can buy whatever you want. More, not only softball fields, but more soccer fields. I don't know what other sports you could bring to the area to increase the tourism. Because it's already filling up soccer fields with all these people coming in from Monterrey, all these soccer events every weekend. Like, what else do you want as far as sports to bring more of that tourism to the area?
No, of course we want sports, but we want a combination of things. We can't just live off sports because people may not get it, but they're always demanding more sports fields, more parks, more places to take the family. But what they don't quite realize is how much we spend on that year after year. And we don't want to raise taxes, and they don't want us to raise their taxes either. So we got to balance that out. We got to balance out, the values we give are, we always say that we want people to be comfortable and get out there, enjoy, have fun. But we also got to be careful. It can't all be all fun. Parks don't generate money. Economic development does. Sports tourism does. But we don't have sports tournaments every weekend. If we did, then we could probably spend a lot more money. But no, during the year, we have to upkeep every single park, every playing field, everything, every day. whether it's generating or not. And that's where it gets a little bit difficult.
There we go. You just reminded them you got to turn on those sprinklers at a time when water is at a premium to make sure we get some nice, beautiful green grass for all the sports. Yeah, that makes sense. Javier Villalobos, our mayor from McAllen. Mayor, I asked this of Ike, our city manager, Isaac. So we will talk about 17th Street downtown. I continue to see videos that are embarrassing. Kids that are swinging at each other and fighting with the cops, tackling to the ground, all this stupid stuff. I know things have changed at City Hall when it comes to ordinances to allow some of these establishments to open, make it harder for them to open there. What do you want from 17th Street in the future? What's going to happen to all these businesses?
Look, at the very end, we want each and every business to succeed, whether they're a bar, a restaurant, a little grocery store, whatever it is. We want them to succeed. However, what was happening in 17th Street just wasn't right. They were not following the rules. They were not even trying to. So we shut down a bunch of them. And you know what? I'm so glad we did. And it was necessary. There was a lot of things, illegal things that were going on, and at the very end causing issues and sometimes even loss of life. And that was not right. And I think everybody knows, and they say, Mayor, you didn't do anything until a police officer was injured. Yeah. And I said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That's right. That's exactly what broke the camel's back, and it did. And that's why when we said, you know what, this is ridiculous, it's embarrassing, it made national news. People were spreading that video throughout the country, and we just can't have that. So we looked into it. We looked into the situation. We realized that it was worse than we thought. So we started enforcing, shutting down whoever we had to shut down. And if they do what's correct, we'll open them back up. If they do what's correct. If they don't, we want them shut down. The other thing I'm promoting, or I want each and every bar in 17th Street to do, is to require 21 years or older. We cannot make them. We cannot force them. But there's other ways that if they don't, we'll figure out a way how to.
You got more cops around there, more TABC checking out everyone doing
Well,
stings?
TABC is very limited. And that's one of the problems we have. We don't have much help from TABC. And then we cannot go add extra cops there because people want to misbehave. We have 154-something thousand people that we need to take care of. And we can't just concentrate in an area because you have stupid little kids misbehaving.
Yeah. We get some of the smart, that's what I was going to say. We got a lot of young cops. I was talking with this, we'll talk about crime here in a second, which is quite the feather in the cap. I was telling Victor Rodriguez, our chief, well, yeah, you got a lot of young cops, huerquillos, really young, good kids. Pon esos huerquillos, put them up in like a Hawaiian shirt, send them in there to do it.
I don't know. I don't know if they're huerquillos or young. I think we're just getting old.
That one hurt.
Yeah, it hurts.
Oh, ouch. Okay, crime. Our chief, by the way, Javier Villalobos, our mayor in McAllen, post speech of the state of the city. Our chief of police, Victor Rodriguez, was here in the studio a few days back. Wow. And he showed me the raw numbers he had at a chart. He said, look at this. Mid-1980s, he said, look at this number. Number of reported crimes, burglaries, assaults, everything. Look at the raw number, and then look at this number last year. And it was like way down. Like we were like 2.5 times smaller back in the mid-1980s. We're 2.5 times bigger now. And the number of crimes is like a quarter of it, like small, infinitesimally small compared to back then. What? Ain't that crazy interesting?
Well, it's not crazy. It's wonderful. I remember back when I moved down to the Valley 30 years ago, you used to hear a lot of issues about different neighborhoods. If I remember correctly, La Paloma, La Idela, La this, that they were kind of crime-ridden. You don't hear that anymore. Yeah. Everywhere you drive, everything's pretty decent. Of course, there's going to be some crime here in McAllen. And what infuriates me is a lot of the times that something happens, it's not even somebody from the city of McAllen, but somebody visiting, getting drunk, doing something. But we have a very good law-abiding community. We have a very good law enforcement. And overall, I'm just so proud. And that's why I thank Chief Rodriguez and the whole police department. And you know what? Whether they have body cams or not, they're doing a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, by the way, that was producer Joe Salinas. He comes for those... the gang used to be Los Malías Salinas back then. Used to be with that gang. His tíos and primos used to be back then. But now we got Joe here. He came out all right. Okay, so crime is just amazing to see what's going on.
It is amazing.
And even through the crazy days of the tsunami of illegal immigration, all that stuff, I found myself even on the national show, on the Dana Lash show, saying, "People, Medelia and I, we're raising 2 kids down here. We're safe. We're fine. Everything. Man, I don't even have security. We're
that
fine.
was my fight with Fox News, CNN, everybody else. I used to tell them, hey, what y'all see or what y'all hear has nothing to do with our reality. Even when we had the influx of immigrants going through McAllen through Catholic Charities, I mean, you can't point out to an incident in which somebody did something wrong. Fortunately, and we don't take position as to whether they were here rightfully, wrongfully, or illegal or not illegal. We just wanted to make sure that everybody passed through here safe. Public safety was of the utmost importance. It always has been. They weren't, fortunately, they were not victims of crimes, and neither were our people. And even during those time periods, McAllen came out as one of the safest cities in the country.
Top points from McAllen. Top 10 best place to live in Texas. Top 10 for small business. Best housing market for first-time home buyers. The average price around $250K. Affordability just off the charts, crazy compared to every $100 spent elsewhere. We spend about $80 some odd dollars around here. And I think the shining jewel in the cap, U-Haul stating that Brownsville, McAllen is the 10th on the list of destination points where U-Hauls go one way because they're moving to the area. Where are we putting them, Mayor? Like, where are we building homes in McAllen?
Well, I think it's not necessarily just McAllen, and just like I spoke about today, it's our Rio Grande Valley. I know a lot of people, of course, they do come to McAllen, but it's throughout the area. It's it may be Edinburgh, San Juan, Alamo, Brownsville, San Benito, Harlingen. It's the area, and that's why I said when I'm out there talking about McAllen, I don't talk just about McAllen. I talk about the RGV. And I said it from Edinburgh to Hidalgo, from Brownsville to Rio Grande City. We are the RGV, and we're working it together.
Thank you, Mayor. Safe travels to you. We'll see you soon, brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, Mayor in McAllen, Javier Villalobos. News Talk 710 KURV is your station in South Texas for the Vanny Cook Kids Cancer Clinic Radiothon. 16 years now. Thank you, Lord. 16 years. Next Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the morning, we flip the switch with our sister stations. We'll have a chance to meet many of the families, the babies, the kiddos, the huerquillos, as I call them, that are fighting cancer successfully. Not over 95% of all these cancer cases can be fought in South Texas successfully at Vanny Cook or Kids Cancer Clinic. Thank you, Lee's Pharmacy. Thank you, Amigo Power Equipment, and everyone else, all these other companies that helped us flip the switch, get all the phone lines and logistics done for Radiothon 2026 to benefit Vanny Cook or Kids Cancer Clinic next Tuesday. Sports next on 710 KURV.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
One of the blessings of growing up in a Mexican household with my mom and my tias. Well, I had a wonderful abuelita lived here in Reynosa. Beautiful. They were good cooks. Oof, those flour tortillas. Corn and flour tortillas, by the way. But right now, the celebration here in South Texas with Breakfast Patos is the flour tortillas fresh off the skillet. They smell so good. Oh, my goodness. I guess like goosebumps just think, how good they smell, the flour tortillas. And then, of course, the bacon sizzling over here. And then you chop on the chorizo, put it on the skillet, the chorizo as well. Your favorites waiting for you for breakfast at El Pato. Every single El Pato restaurant. ElPato.com, or do as I do. I tell you, I phone it in. Get your breakfast tacos, your breakfast patos made fresh, not under some lamp, not sitting there. Made fresh as soon as you order. Chorizo or ham or bacon, refried bean, the cheese. It just makes it, or even barbacoa if you're craving that. Get your breakfast tacos, your patos right now. And don't forget the huge special at the moment for lunch, for dinner. The spicy enchiladas verdes are so beautiful. That green tomatillo sauce, the white cheese, the chicken enchiladas, rice bean in the drink, and amazing. Only $6.99 for a limited time at every El Pato.
Thank you to Rio Bank for serving as a KURV ambassador to the McAllen State of the City, led by Javier Villalobos under the theme, Doing It the McAllen Way. The event highlighted record-breaking growth in tourism, retail, and hospitality, driven by strong partnerships and strategic infrastructure investment. Thank you to Rio Bank for your continued commitment to keeping the RGV business community informed through these important conversations. KURV, committed to transparency, progress, and civic engagement education across the Rio Grande Valley.
The Friday Sergio Show at the Edinburgh Conference Center at Renaissance DHR campus, broadcasting from the inaugural RGVBusinessJournal.com Economic Outlook Luncheon. Join us as we hear from top leaders taking inventory of our region's economy and looking ahead to 2026.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Lease your own 2026 Infinity QX60 for just $469 a month for 48 months. And all new Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potomac app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Dallas Mavericks got trounced by the Los Angeles Lakers last night, 124-104. Najee Marshall and Max Christie both finished the game with 19 points each to lead the team in scoring. As for the Lakers, LeBron James made history by becoming the oldest player ever to get a triple-double at age 41. Dallas will return to action next Friday, where they'll travel to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. Tip-off is scheduled for 6:30 and coverage will be provided by ESPN. I'm Adam C., and this has been your TSN Sports Minute.
At the Winter Olympics, Brock Nelson lit the lamp twice during a 3-goal second period as the U.S. men's hockey team crushed Latvia 5-1 in their preliminary round opener in Milan. As Team USA seeking their first Olympic medal since winning silver in Vancouver in 2010. The U.S. will take on Denmark Saturday. Team Canada shut out Czechia 5-0. The U.S. women's hockey team will face off against Italy today in the quarterfinals. Chloe Kim denied a third straight gold medal, finished second in the women's snowboard halfpipe, take home silver. American Jessie Diggins earned the bronze in the women's 10-kilometer cross-country race, her fourth career Olympic medal. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says it's going to be even warmer this weekend, so highs today should be in the upper 80s, close to 90, definitely low 90s, like 92, 93. Tomorrow, Mid-Valley, Western Valley, Ranch Country, and low 90s on Sunday, and upper 80s on Monday, and 90 again on Tuesday. There you go, little roller coaster. It's going to be nice and warm. Porter Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com, and see if they've updated these numbers for the bridges. So if you're headed back to Brownsville, McAllen, the update is for the McAllen area, 1 hour at the Hidalgo Bridge, about 35, 40 minutes at the Far Bridge. We still need an update for Brownsville. Thank you for waking up with News Talk 710 KURV Business News and a check of your money up next. And stick around in just under 10 minutes. We got Movie Mom Nel Minnow. See if there are any good Valentine's weekend date movies. Go out and do a third mortgage on the house, all the popcorn and food and all that. Let's see if there's anything good for Valentine's weekend at the box office. Movie Mom Nel Minnow coming up in just a little bit. Stick around. The Valley's Morning News on 710 KURV. There's a great financing opportunity and great savings awaiting you at Amigo Power Equipment. If you need some equipment for your ranch and for your lease to get the job done, whatever it is, got to move some earth or maybe do some chop up stuff. All the attachments for the Kubota equipment, the beautiful tractors, the zero-turn mowers, all this equipment that you can rely on from Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment. Right now, JP and Jeff at Amigo Power providing savings of up to $35 on select equipment, or financing at 0% if you qualify now to the end of February. You can get a lot of details of what I'm talking about at KubotaUSA.com. But why don't you just stop by and visit with JP and Jeff and get some fresh coffee. They got some there. They just made a fresh pot of coffee there in the showroom. And go walk the campus. Take a look at those beautiful zero-turn mowers, those amazing, reliable Kubota compact tractors, which, by the way, number one selling Kubota, the number one selling compact tractor in the nation is Kubota. Go see it at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh, Monte Cristo.
am Sarah Sagredo Hammond, your true Republican candidate of choice for Texas House District 41. For over 9 years, I've been fighting at the state capitol, not for politics, but for people like us. I'm a mom, a small business owner, and a community member just like you. I have been in Austin, where I have seen our good people get left behind. And when we ask for help, we get nothing but political speeches instead of practical solutions. I may not know every inch of the law, but there is one thing I do know, and that's how to listen to you and to work with my community as I have for many, many years. I am not here to perform or put on courtroom theatrics. I am here to serve and put you first in Austin. I am Sarah Sagredo Hammond, and I approve this message, and I ask for your vote.
The Friday Sergio Show at the Edinburgh Conference Center at Renaissance DHR campus, broadcasting from the inaugural RGVBusinessJournal.com Economic Outlook Luncheon. Join us as we hear from top leaders taking inventory of our region's economy and looking ahead to 2026.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Investors got some good news this week on the state of the labor market, and more may be on the way this morning. A Dow Jones consensus forecast predicts that the Consumer Price Index is expected to show a 2.5% gain from a year ago. Data drops in 10 minutes. India has approved the purchase of fighter jets from France, marking one of its largest aircraft orders. The approval was part of New Delhi's nearly $40 million defense spending package, covering multiple acquisitions across the armed forces. Xiaomi's electric car venture has succeeded in dethroning Tesla in China, at least for January. China Passenger Car Association reports that Xiaomi Y SUV ranked first in China by sales last month with nearly 38,000 units sold. That is roughly double as many as Tesla's nearly 17,000 Model Y vehicles. Futures are slightly lower. Thursday, the Dow Industrials fell 669, the Nasdaq down 469, the S&P 500 down 108. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says the warm weather continues, so highs today 87, 88. Tomorrow, at least 92 in parts of the Western Valley. Right now, temperatures mostly mid-upper 60s across South Texas. We got movie mom Nell Minow coming up in about 4 minutes. Anything good at the movie theater, for Valentine's night on Saturday night? We'll see what she says. That's coming up on 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing. Take a look at the amazing list, the inventory of all the different services that they provide. Some new to the area. ChamberlainLTD.com. I was telling you this week, I had a conversation with one of the top chiefs over at Chamberlain, the individual responsible for decades now, making sure that all the folks that are at Chamberlain come over to your offices and go up, climb up there, get up those heights. And checking your warehouse roofs and checking the, all the businesses that you have, checking the commercial roofs and all those businesses. Safety is first. Safety is a priority. I would say the long conversation I had with the safety chief at Chamberlain, I would say safety is an obsession, and that's a compliment. They have multiple tiers of training and certifications, and they're proud of them. In the end, keep everybody safe, make sure they go home to their babies, eat some dinner, go back to work the next day. But also, by extension, the folks who, your different businesses, you'll need to hire Chamberlain to check your roofs and replace your roofs or fix your roofs. Make sure that you're not calling the insurance company because something bad happens and somebody's not paying attention. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, top roofers in this entire region. They will check your commercial roofing system free. Ask them to come over. That way you know what's going on with that commercial roofing system. 956-655-6178.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that. And more if you're worried about things like low testosterone. Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
The Texas Comptroller is the chief financial officer of the 8th largest economy in the world. Governor Abbott knows Kelly Hancock will keep the Texas economy booming. As acting comptroller, Kelly Hancock protected your tax dollars and worked with Governor Abbott to fund President Trump's border wall. That's why Governor Abbott trusts Kelly Hancock.
This is Governor Greg Abbott. Results matter. That's why I endorse Kelly Hancock for Texas Comptroller. There is no one I trust more. Vote Kelly Hancock.
That's why Governor Abbott trusts
For
Kelly
Texas
Hancock.
Agriculture
This is
Commissioner,
Governor
do
Greg
you want
Abbott.
an experienced
Results
agriculture
matter.
businessman? Then vote Nate Sheets. Someone trusted and endorsed by the Texas Farm Bureau? Vote Nate Sheets. Someone who will restore integrity to the office. Vote Nate Sheets.
This is Governor Greg Abbott. I'm proud to endorse Nate Sheets for Agriculture Commissioner. He's committed to fighting for Texas agriculture and restoring integrity to the Texas Agriculture Commission. Vote Nate Sheets for Agriculture Commissioner. Political ad paid for by Texans for Greg Abbott.
Bumper to bumper information.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's another finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. It is February 13th, 2026. That's right. Ooh, spooky. It's Friday the 13th. But it's okay. Mama's here. Mama's here. We can hug Mom and she'll protect us. Movie Mom Nell Minnow coming up in about 2 minutes. Show producer Fred Cruz. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thank you for joining us on 710 KURV. Check of News is a service of Edinburgh CISD along with UTRGV. They're collegiate high school enrolling freshmen and sophomore students. For information, call 956-289-2300.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. We are careening toward another partial government shutdown. Senate Democrats blocking money for DHS.
This would now be the third government shutdown in just 5 months. Democrats say a Republican offer to keep the Department of Homeland Security funded falls short of their demands. Remember, Dems want 10 actions, including no masks for immigration agents and preventing DHS officers from entering private property without a judicial warrant.
Fox's Madeline Rivera, still no suspect in the search for Nancy Guthrie, missing for 13 days.
Authorities say they are looking for a male who is 5'9" to 5'10" tall with an average build. Officials also say the brand of backpack the suspect is seen wearing is a black 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker pack.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. America's listening to Fox News.
Every Friday at this time, Movie Mom Nell Minnow. And we're going to check, see if there's anything good at the box office. You know, Valentine's night and movie night, go out. We say, first though, we say, happy Galentine's Day with the gal friends. Fred and I have bad memories of the Galentine's thing, Mom. Every like the day before Valentine's, Mom would send us all day to daycare. Freddie, he'd beat up on all the kids and eat all the food off the floor. I was miserable all day, just missing Mom. So happy Galentine's Day to Movie Mom. No. You doing anything special for Galentine's Day today, Mom? You got some gal friends? Go out, eat some.
I'm taking a friend to a very fancy tea, and we're going to wear hats.
So she'll be drinking the tea with a little pinky.
That's right, with our little pinkies out. Okay, first of all, yes, we're going to talk about movies, but first I have to say that, in my neighborhood, the gold medal winner, Ilya Malinin at the Olympics, he's unbelievable. The squad god, yay for him. Wow. Speaking of sports, I don't know a lot about sports, but even I know who Steph Curry is. And Steph Curry is the guy behind one of the big movies this week. It's called GOAT, which stands for greatest of all time. We always say Sergio is the GOAT of radio. But in this case, it's an actual GOAT in this animated film who wants to play a version of basketball called Roarball, but he's considered too small by the teammates who are all gigantic animals like rhinoceros. Steph Curry himself plays the giraffe, and he raps in this movie. It's colorful. It's got a nice message about teamwork. It's not the greatest movie of all time. The kids will enjoy it. Wuthering Heights, maybe not a good one for Valentine's Day because the book is about generational trauma and obsession, and they're trying to make it into romantic love in this movie with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, two of the prettiest people on earth, who look at each other longingly for 3/4 of the movie and then really get together in a very major way. It's very pretty to look at. It's basically a perfume commercial pretending to be a movie. So I didn't like it. And then if you're going in the other direction and want a crime drama this week, Crime 101 with two Avengers, Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo, on Halle Berry, who's not an Avenger, but she's with the X-Men, and Nick Nolte, who sounds like this. He sounds like Gollum in Lord of the Rings now. And it's about a jewel thief and the cop who's after him, and it all comes together at the end in a really stupid way, but it's kind of fun to watch.
Okay.
Streaming, one of my favorite movies of last year. Please watch Song Sung Blue.
Okay.
Based on the real story of a Neil Diamond tribute band, or as they would say, the Neil Diamond tribute experience. It's a wonderful movie. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. Next week, here's one you're going to like, Sergio. You ready?
Yes.
They found a huge cache of footage of Elvis Presley concerts that are amazing. They've restored them, and I saw it in IMAX. It's like being on stage with one of the greatest performers of all time. When he started to sing Poke Salad Annie, I literally let out a yell. I couldn't believe it. And Hunka Hunka Burning Love. Those are my two favorites.
All right. Not that huge of an Elvis fan, but I appreciate
You're going to be one after you see this movie.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. Hug and a kiss. Have a wonderful weekend. Movie Mom,
Happy
no,
Valentine's
every
Day.
Friday on 710 KURV. You.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
I think when I say the words beyond expectations, I think that best describes the McAllen family. This is a tradition for them to go above and beyond. For families that, it's stressful. You lose a loved one. It's very, very stressful. Sometimes it is a shock. It is unexpected. That's when it's even more painful. So it's best if the immediate family that has to deal with all the decisions and payment of all this, it's best if everything has been already taken care of and decided. Don't you think? I tell you, that's true, because my mom and dad, they pre-planned and they prepaid. And on behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb from the McCaleb Funeral Home clan in Westlake, a reminder to get it done, my friend. Why don't you call Carla McCaleb? I'm going to give you her personal number. Again, that's her cell number. Call her, text her. And just text her, say, hey, Serge was mentioning the whole prepayment, the pre-planning. The pre-planning is what gets you. It's a long sit down, decide this, that. Just have as much as possible decided now, prepaid now, get the whole thing done. That's a lot of stress at a time when the immediate family does not need extra stress. So pre-plan, prepay. Carla McCaleb is my friend. You call her. They will go to you. If you're busy, they'll go to you wherever you are. Harlingen, Brownsville, McAllen. Here's her number. Call or text 956-650-2841.
If you've got land to work, you need equipment that works. When it's time to cut, clear, grade, haul, or build, you don't need toys. You need real equipment. At Tops Power, we've got the machines to tame your yard, your acreage, or run your landscape business. From zero-turn mowers and utility equipment to real tractors built for real work. Looking for a compact tractor that punches above its weight? Check out Solis Tractors. Tough, dependable, and built to handle everything from mowing and grading to loader work and property maintenance. Perfect for a couple acres, a small ranch, or your growing lawn and landscape business. And when the job's done, Tops Power has your back with expert service, factory-trained techs, fast turnaround, and a service department that keeps your equipment running season after season. Don't struggle with underpowered equipment. Don't rent it. You can own the right equipment for the job with Tops Power. Tops Power on Tyler Avenue in downtown Harlingen, or click topspower.com. Tops Power, the Guacha Tough.